Assalamu alaikum. Bereavement is a difficult but normal and healthy process. Allah says in the Quran that a soul belongs to Allah and will return to Him in time. Unfortunately, many who pass away from COVID-19 will have become unwell very quickly and may well have passed away without having their loved ones around them due to strict isolation measures. Many bereaved family members will be unable to attend the funeral due to being in isolation. The funeral may also be delayed with only a small number allowed to attend. For practical support regarding the death certification and burial, it is important to speak to the local mosque that is dealing with burials as soon as possible. From an emotional perspective, coming to terms with a death is a very gradual process and can take considerable time. This can be prolonged by a feeling that loved ones have not been able to say goodbye, as they have not been able to be present at the bedside at the time of death. This is a challenge that COVID-19 brings us. An individual can go through multiple stages of emotion, and these can include anger, sadness, and even denial before reaching a state of acceptance. Islam teaches us how to deal with these difficult times. We can take comfort in knowing that everything that happens is only by the will of Allah, and so there will be wisdom in it. Remaining patient at this time is likely the most difficult thing to do, but know that Allah will never burden a soul with more than he or she can bear. Reliving and sharing with others memories of loved ones who have gone can be a positive way to remember their impact on our lives. It is important not to isolate yourself at this time, but instead to keep in regular contact with family and friends. This can be by messages, by phone calls, or by video calls. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out to others who might be finding it difficult too, and you never know, you may be able to help one another. Even though we need to be physically isolated, there is no reason we should also be socially isolated. It is important to look after yourself by eating well and getting rest. Trying to keep to a regular routine of getting up and dressed and eating meals at the usual time can also help, as can getting some fresh air and sunlight every day. Spend time doing dua, as this is what will likely most benefit the deceased. You can do this from anywhere and any time. There is no added benefit in doing dua at the grave, so your dua will be just as powerful if you are self-isolating at home. Try to ensure that you have forgiven the deceased for any wrong they may have done. This is one of the best things you can do for them. Give sadaqah on behalf of the deceased alongside your own charity. This will benefit them in the afterlife, inshallah. If you are struggling to cope with a bereavement, then there are many sources of support available. These include online self-help materials, online support services, phone helplines, or speaking to your own GP. So how and from whom would you get this bereavement support? It can be from your family, from your friends, from bereavement support services of the hospital, from your GP, from your community, from your imam, and ultimately from Allah. We conclude with a reminder from the Quran, from Surah Al-Baqarah verses 155 to 157. But give glad tidings to as-sabirun, the patient ones, who when afflicted with calamity say, truly to Allah we belong, and truly to Him we shall return. Though bereavement is often the most difficult experience anyone can go through, in Islam we are reminded that bereavement is never the end, but a temporary separation until we are reunited in Jannah, inshallah, once more. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.